quiet young man. You wouldn't know he's in the Friday sessions until you call the register and then he responds to his name. And it's so coincidental that on Friday I was commending him for his patience, for a job well done. He was doing his apprenticeship work at the KHMH in the maintenance section, and I spoke to Mr. Segura, his supervisor, who said, excellent young man. He was working for the past 7 weeks since the program began.
The body of 22-year-old Samuel Stephen Miguel, a resident of West Street in Belize City, was found in a parking lot on Cemetery Road. Dressed in only a pair of blue checkered boxers, Miguel had a deep and huge cut wound to the head and an apparent stab wound to the right side of the face. He was bashed in the head with a cement block.
At 5:55 a.m., CIB personnel visited a open parking lot in front of the Raymond Parks homeless shelter, where they observed a dark male person with what appeared to be with apparent stab wound to the head and apparent stab wound to the right side of his face.
Are you able to tell us why Mr. Samuel was in this particular location at that time?
Well, there's a lot of speculations, information at this point. We just need to confirm after we interview these two persons that we have in our custody.
Miguel, an apprentice with vocational training in electrical, became gainfully employed with the Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital 7 weeks ago. After working out some issues with his Social Security card, he was finally able to collect his 7 weeks of salary the day before he was killed. He was reportedly last seen socializing with 2 females.
I can't imagine what could have happened or could have led to him being murdered. He was socializing on Friday night with one of our apprentices, and so he knew that everything was okay and it was good. So after that is when all this happened. On Saturday morning, Tanya, my secretary, sent me a text message and said that Samuel was found dead. And I said, you know, how could this be? You know, it is cruel. It is cruel. I can't understand what would be the purpose of another human wanting to kill someone. And if it was his stipend they wanted, then join my program so you could get your weekly stipend too. But he works hard. If she knew that her son was a troublemaker, if she knew that her son, that this would have eventually been his destiny, then it's okay. But and as she told me on Saturday morning, he left home saying, I'm going to the bank to get my stipend and I'm coming back. And he never did.
Well, at this time, the police have detained 2 persons and are investigating the matter. At this point, I do not want to mention any name because the investigation may we have a lead and may lead to some arrest.
Is there a motive behind this?
Well, like I said before, we don't want to speculate here. The investigation is still ongoing. We have 2 persons detained, and as such, we might have someone or persons arrested in this incident.
Coordinator of the Youth Apprenticeship Program in the Ministry of Education, Diane Finnegan, confirmed that this is the 2nd person of the program to become a victim of violence, and for her, the situation is heart-wrenching and emotional when one of her youth is callously murdered.
My heart got so full, and I said to them, because I normally wish them a safe and a good weekend every Friday, and I said to them, I said, when you hurt, it affects me. And that is why I say to you, don't go on the block and hang out, socialize, and when you're through, go home, because when things like this happen and I see you hurting, it affects me too. And so I remember closing off on Friday, and I said to them, I am begging you, please. But I was not referring to him because of the fact that he's not an individual who gives any kind of trouble.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.